Look at your face in the mirror. Not the way you usually do. Really look. The tension around your jaw, the heaviness behind your eyes, the lines that showed up way too early. You didn't get those from aging, you got those from carrying something you were never supposed to carry alone. And Gabor Maté, one of the most important doctors alive today, says he can explain exactly why. Most people think the face ages from the outside, sun damage, bad sleep, genetics. But Maté spent decades sitting across from patients, cancer survivors, people with autoimmune disease, chronic pain sufferers, and he kept noticing the same thing. The body doesn't lie, and neither does the face. Because what you suppress doesn't disappear. It doesn't go anywhere. It moves inward. It settles into your nervous system, your muscles, your jaw, your eyes. And over years, over decades, it starts to show, not as a scar, as a pattern. Here's what Maté actually discovered. When a child grows up in an environment where their emotions aren't safe, where crying is weakness, where anger is dangerous, where needing something makes you a burden, that child makes a decision. Not a conscious one, a survival one. They learn to wear a face that keeps the peace, happy, helpful, fine, always fine. And Maté calls this the most expensive mask a human being can wear. Because the face you show the world and the body underneath it start living two completely different lives. The face says, I'm okay. The nervous system says, I haven't been okay in years. Now here's where it gets physical, and this is the part most people never hear. Maté says emotional suppression isn't just psychological, it's physiological. Every time you swallow an emotion, every time you feel anger and smile instead, every time you feel grief and push it down, every time you feel fear and perform confidence, your body registers that as stress, not metaphorical stress, real, biological, hormonal stress. Your jaw clenches, your shoulders rise, your eyes lose their softness, your cortisol stays elevated, your immune system takes the hit. And if you do this for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years, the body starts to wear it. That's not a metaphor. That's Maté's clinical observation from thousands of patients. The face that looks older than it should. The eyes that look tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. The jaw that never fully relaxes even when you're resting. That's not aging. That's a body that has been holding something for too long. And here's what I need you to really sit with, because this changes everything. Maté says you didn't choose this. The child who learned to suppress didn't decide to damage themselves. They decided to survive. They looked at their environment and made the only rational calculation available to them. If I show what I really feel, I lose the connection I need to stay alive. So they hid it, and they got very, very good at hiding it. And then they grew up and kept hiding it, because the strategy that saved them as a child became invisible to them as an adult. This is not your fault. But, and Maté is very clear about this, it is now your responsibility. If you're watching this and something is hitting differently right now, if you're recognizing something in yourself that you've never had words for before, drop it in the comments. Because you are not alone in this. And sometimes just naming it out loud is the first thing that starts to shift it. Now, here's the part that most videos about trauma never get to. The mask can come off, not all at once, not overnight, but Maté's entire life work, his clinical practice, his books, his method called compassionate inquiry, is built on one foundational belief. The body that learned to hide can learn to be honest again, and when it does, something remarkable happens. The jaw softens, the eyes change. The face that was carrying decades of suppression starts to look different, not younger in a cosmetic sense, but alive in a way it hasn't been in years. Maté has watched this happen in patients who were in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s. It is never too late for the body to put down what it's been holding. Because here's the truth that Maté wants you to walk away with. You are not broken. You are not damaged beyond repair. You are a person who learned, very early, under very real pressure, that it wasn't safe to feel. And that learning protected you. It kept you connected, it kept you functional, it got you here. But you don't need that protection anymore. The emotions you buried to survive your childhood don't need to be buried anymore. And the face that's been holding all of it, the tension, the heaviness, the exhaustion that sleep doesn't touch, that face is not the real one. Underneath it is someone who never got to fully show up, and it is not too late. If this opened something in you today, if it gave you language for something you felt but never been able to say, hit subscribe. Because this channel goes to exactly these places, the ones most people are too afraid to look at. And there's so much more coming. You have been carrying this for a long time. You can put it down. Not perfectly. Not all at once. But you can start today. And the face looking back at you in the mirror, it's been waiting for you to finally let it rest.